The last 5 years have been a rollercoaster ride for the Australian grains and oilseeds industry. In 2016, Australian farmers planted and harvested the biggest crop on record. In the following 3 years, we had drought after drought on the east coast. Conditions in 2019 were so poor that hectares planted were the lowest in 22 years. Now, however, we're seeing the second year in a row of great conditions in many regions, with total winter crop area rising 1.3% this year to almost 23 million hectares. That's only 0.7% off the 2016 record high. There's a couple of interesting local dynamics impacting prices that our newest report outlines. The first is the canola versus barley fight for hectares. This chart shows Australian canola versus barley planting together making up 100%. You can see here that as our trade relationship with China started to sour back in 2019-20, winter crop hectares started to move away from barley and into canola. This year, we're seeing the move to canola from barley, both because of China's anti-dumping tariffs, but also because of near-record canola prices. Now, what does increased canola planting mean for prices this season? Well, it means that at harvest time, we're likely to have a lot more canola to sell, which will mean increased price pressure on local prices and discount to overseas markets. The second interesting variable to watch is how much of last year's harvest is still on farm. Given last year's near record crop, there is a lot of grain around, particularly on the east coast. In New South Wales, we estimate around 30% of the harvest to still be on farm. What does that mean for markets? Well, this means that until the stored grain is sold, it will continue to weigh on prices. Our most recent report also dives into the price impact of shifts to GM canola planting, including in South Australia, and the switch from malt to feed barley planting, so be sure to download a copy. But for now, let's switch to our co-author, Cheryl Kalish-Gordon, who will delve further into our production and 12-month price and export outlook. Over to you, Cheryl.
Thanks, Dennis. With planted area up again this year, excellent season opening conditions in many areas, and a neutral to positive rainfall outlook, we are looking towards a second consecutive year of a bumper winter crop for Australia. At this point of the season, we're forecasting that bumper to include 28.9 million tonnes of wheat, 10 million tonnes of barley, and 4.1 million tonnes of canola. These volumes are down on last year, but collectively up 13% over the 5-year average. With stocks locally now replenished after drought, plus a favourable harvest in our sites, we're definitely looking globally for price support. And here there is good news. Unlike 2016-17, the last time we had such good local production, global prices are and are expected to remain materially higher over the coming 12 months. For wheat, we expect the CBOT global benchmark to stay near to 650 US cents a bushel, or 30% above its 5-year average, and 55% above 2016-17, which is good news for local wheat prices. For corn, we expect the CBOT global benchmark to trade near to 550 US cents a bushel, or 40% above its 5-year average, and 54% above 2016-17, which is good news for local wheat and barley prices. For soybeans, we see the CBOT global market to trade near to 1350 US cents a bushel, or 45% above its 5-year average and 60% above 2016-17, which is excellent news for local canola prices. The tight global grains market that is driving these prices will be looking to Australia for supply. And so we are expecting wheat exports to approach 20 million tonnes in 2021-22, down 10% on last year, but still 30% above the 5-year average. We expect barley exports to be 5.5 million tonnes, down 8% year on year and 1% down on the 5-year average, and canola exports at 3.1 million tonnes, up 7% on last year and a massive 30% up on the 5-year average. To get our view of what this export program, the global price outlook and our production forecast will mean for wheat, barley and canola prices across Australia, download a copy of Future Fields of Gold.
Thanks, Cheryl. That's it for this video, but be sure to check out the next video from our crop outlook, and for more details, be sure to download our report from the link in the description below.